removed limits in people's lives in the Bible over and over and over again. You have them perhaps facing some insurmountable odds or something that was far bigger than they were, something that was impossible, yet God was able to take the lid off of their life and allow them to grow and go past that. So the whole idea here today is just to start by looking at a few people that had some limits placed on them, which God had removed. If you would, in 1 Chronicles chapter 4, verses 9 through 10, we've entitled this Limitless. It'll probably go for about 3 weeks, should the Lord tarry and not take us all home. But if you would, we're going to go on to read. Starting at verse 9, it says, "Now Jabez was more honorable than his brothers, and his mother called his name Jabez, saying, Because I bore him in pain. And Jabez called on the God of Israel, saying, Oh, that you would bless me indeed, and enlarge my territory, that your hand would be with me, and that you would keep me from evil, that I may not cause pain. So God granted him what he requested." That's a big prayer. Now, his limit was his name. His name came out of the painful experience of his birth. Mommy maybe had 26 hours. They didn't have epidurals there. It was funny. Heather before we had our first, she was natural birth, natural birth, natural birth. And we went to doulas. We went in through the childbirth classes, and she's like, "I'm going to go natural. We're going to go natural. We're going to go natural." 18 hours into it, give me drugs. Give me everything that you can find. If it's too late, go outside and get me something. I cannot deal with this. So, I didn't have a BC Rolodex on hand, if you know what I mean. I didn't have a Before Christ phone book that I could refer to for that type of stuff. Anyways, so this guy's name is Jabez. So wherever he goes, people know that he causes pain. Or for whatever reason, he causes sorrow. And in that day, your name meant everything about you. It was almost prophetic, the way that people had named their kids to say something about who they were going to be, what they would accomplish. And this guy is called pain, sorrow, right out the gate. Not a good thing. But fortunately, he didn't just accept the hand that was dealt him. He prayed. The Bible says here that he cried out to the God of Israel, "Oh, that you would bless me indeed and enlarge my territory. Let your hand be with me and keep me from harm, so that I will be free from pain." And God granted his request. You know, it's funny, I was talking with Henry, one of your friends that came to help out at the event yesterday. And she was asking me if I was related to such and such Govea from San Fernando. Now, there's a period of time in my life where generally when somebody says, "Are you related to such and such Govea?" it's not a good thing, mostly. And I asked her, I said, "Okay, are these good Goveas or bad Goveas?" And she goes, "What on earth does that mean?" I said, "I'll tell you. What are the professions of these Goveas that you're talking about?" And if they say something like lawyer, accountant, I said, okay, already we're gone. I'm not related to these people. Because most of the Goveas on my side need lawyers. We never use accountants. And that's just what it is, okay? That's just the lot in life, folks. I mean, look, that's our history. That's the muddy water that I've gotten to tread. I've put my own little chapters in that whole narrative myself. At a young age, thankfully, it'll never be released. So, look, regardless of who said what, called you what, when they did, said you'd amount to whatever it is that they said you wouldn't, doesn't matter if you pray. Now, this guy had this limitation over his life. his response to it was to hit his knees and cry out to God and to let God come in and change it. And what if perhaps, just for a moment, the borders in which you're living in, the limits that you're living out to, were determined simply by your prayer? What if a few nights in prayer, serious knocking, serious seeking, serious asking, could blow out some of the limits in your life, could blow out that thing that you were only able to get so far to? What if God began to just erase some of those boundary lines and keep putting them further and further out?